All right. Good morning and happy Saturday. After I got off last night, the blessing and the curse of being in crypto and really caring about what's going on with your community and with the asset is that you think about it. And I continued to think about it for a couple of hours. Fortunately, I was able to fall asleep, but I thought of a couple additional things that I wanted to talk about. And so I figured I'd better get out of my head before I hopped on conference calls again this morning. So here it is. Especially for people who are new to crypto, and especially if you're one of our top 10, top 15 holders, and now you're seeing a larger number in your portfolio, chances are that you're going to funnel more money towards this asset, which is awesome. I personally believe we're going to do really well. And that's my goal, is that this asset performs really well. But let me give you something to think about. What if we screw it up? What if something goes wrong? What if something on chain fails? What if the FBI comes and picks me up? What if I'm a scammer? What if I disappear to uh, Iceland, or I don't know if Iceland has extradition. I don't know. I could just go overseas and disappear somewhere and drop liquidity to zero, take everybody's money and run, right? Potentially. I'm not going to do that. But let's say I did. Right now, some of you have a concentration in this particular asset because you're excited about it. And that's great for a lot of reasons, because it's going to perform well. But part of risk management is also looking at where you can place a bet while everything else is cheap to protect yourself in case something goes wrong as the bull market progresses and the market around everything else continues to grow. So think to yourself, hey, do I have safe money somewhere on chain? And if you're all right with that amount of risk, if you're okay with swinging for the fences, I'm okay with that too. Because I know where my intent is, I know what I'm trying to do, and I'm not going to disappear on you. And I'm okay saying that out loud. But if you want to protect yourself, consider leaving some money in Pulse, leaving some money in Pulse X, maybe making a staking ladder in Hex, or leaving some money over on Ethereum. These assets are larger. They are going to also perform well, and they're also at the bottom of the cycle. So just some food for thought. We want to avoid concentrations in portfolios. And as portfolios grow and you have a concentration in a particular asset, maybe it's smart to consider a little bit of rotation or rebalancing into an asset where you can get a little bit of safety. That's a little bit of the banker coming out in me. I would love for you to have a concentration in CVRE until the very top of the bull market. And I believe that we're going to perform exceptionally well, but you never know what's going to happen. So be smart, be safe, and take the amount of risk that is appropriate for you, where you are in your life, and aligned with your goals and your own risk tolerance. Okay. Talking about last night, all of the risks that can happen on your side, I realized I've never addressed for you clearly what I'm doing to manage risk on my side. So here's a couple of things. I have an in case of death protocol on my side, where I have someone in my life who knows where my seed phrases are, who is not a member of my family, who will come to a location, get my seed phrase, and know what to do next. Also, we have a way that people can apply to the silent pseudo-anonymous board of directors for CVRE. And if you're interested in participating in our pseudo-anonymous board, there's a way for you to contact us and do that. The pseudo-anonymous board will be able to help us perform operations in dual control. And what that means is that there will be some things that we do as the bull market progresses that we will need to have two-party authorization to do, like movement of coins, sales, providing liquidity. We're going to actually take the dedicated laptop on which we do some of this movement, and we're going to put it in a safe deposit box at a financial institution that has two-person access. And then everything that we do on that laptop involved with the token on my wallet will be done with two people present and will be documented so that individuals know that whatever is authorized is being witnessed and we can see what's happening in real time. We'll also publish what's being done and ask for feedback about what's being done in real time. In addition to that, we will also have control outside of myself of the seed phrase for any tokens that are held in the majority of CVRE. So in the case of my death or something happens to me, although the tokens could just sit there, what's going to happen is the tokens will revert back to control of that pseudo-anonymous operating board, which will be a group of, by the end of the bull market, probably somewhere between 2 to 6 people that will be responsible for managing those assets and decide what we do moving forward with creating this as a cycle over cycle growing asset that builds trust and allows us to build both the holder base and the size of the asset and further the connection between what we're doing in the crypto community and what we might be doing in the outside real world with real world assets. We can't promise that that connection will ever take place, but we intend to work towards that connection, and we may provide evidence that we are and may have already done certain steps to make that connection possible. And that is the speculation that you are currently betting on right now when you buy CVRE. Finally, I'm going to go by key man insurance that will cover what I believe to be the likely liquidity and most of the market cap for CVRE during this first initial cycle. In case that I do have something happen to me, I'm going to create a legal separation between myself and the business entity that will be CVRE and any assets that are associated with CVRE. And this insurance will cover the assets associated with CVRE and reimburse those assets in the case of my death or inability to perform in association with those assets. Even though they're mine and it is my wallet, I want to be responsible with the management of my own assets until the point that we can move into turning them over to the community for community management, which is the intended direction. That's where we're going towards. All right. I am hopping on a conference call. I just wanted to give you those pieces of information, stuff to think about. I think that's it. Have a great Saturday. I'm going to try not to work anymore. Wish you well. Talk to you later.